Hi and welcome to Phoenix Crypto. My name's Andy. I'm just going to be talking you through a little bit more about what's going on in the market right now and what you can expect over the next 1 to 2 days. So before we go any further, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and let's get into it. Let's get into it. What is going to happen in crypto, and particularly what's going to happen with Bitcoin? That's the major question. So I think the first thing is, just looking back at the chart and just reviewing the last couple of days worth of action. First thing is you can see, we hit brand new all-time high, absolutely incredible, fantastic effort from Bitcoin, and you can see how well it lines up with that green dot there. Absolutely nailed it. 69k. Absolutely fantastic. The next thing is that you can clearly see massive rejection. Is that down to people selling off, just hit an all-time high? What is that? Or is that just a natural correction? In my view, it's a natural correction. And actually, it was a really interesting dump yesterday. And I was very interested about how we actually got that all-time high in the first place. And I felt that actually we were already on our way down already before we hit that all-time high. I know that doesn't make sense, but I'll talk you through it. So the reason why I was saying that is, this is where we made, the first all-time high. The previous all-time high, and you can clearly see, it dips down. We already know that. Then we get this green dot, and that's when we hit the 69k. But the trend, the momentum, is still coming down, even though we hit that pump. Don't get me wrong, I got in that pump, made some good money, but the trend still coming down, right? So my expectation was, and I shared this with a number of people, was that really we were expecting a FOMO pump to lure people in before we dump. Okay, so if I zoom back out, go back out to the price action, you can clearly see this downward trend here. And I drew this support line, okay, and you can see, it bounced. Now this is on a 4 hour, so you can see it bouncing a couple of times there. But if I go to the 30-minute chart, and you have to forgive the mess on my chart, but I like to draw trend lines. You can see, we kept bouncing off this line, kept testing off it. And once we've tested it so much, I felt we were always going to get that pump. We were clearly, if you look at the trend line, we're getting to a decision point in that action where it was going to either need to break that trend or dump. And because we'd already tested the support line a number of times, looking at Market Cipher, it was quite obvious, looking at a green dot, looking at that momentum, if I was to draw a trend line here, that we were going in for a pump. So easy spot. But, despite making the all-time high, I felt that the trend was already going down. And really, again, I've drawn a trend line here, but if I got rid of that and drew a new one, there is a clear divergence. Okay, price is going up here, this is going down, and I felt that it was just unsustainable. We were always going to come back down, and actually the long was nice, but actually the short was even nicer. You can see that's a big drop. So if I just measure that, I just go down to the support line, but that's a 6%. Not bad. And you can see that took what, a few hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, 6% move. That's pretty good. If you were to draw a 6% move on the move up, it would take more than 2 or 3 hours. So a lot of people only really get into longs, only keep expecting things to go up, and when things go down, they say, they blame a lot of FUD. They blame, and they always feel like they've been caught out. That All of these things have been designed to trip them over and prevent, price from just skyrocketing. But the reality is the price never goes straight up. It doesn't go up in a linear line. It oscillates. It goes up. It goes down. It goes up. Goes down. That happens on 1 minute time frame, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It also happens on the daily and weekly and monthly time frames, right? So price is going to go up and down, and therefore you've got to be alive to when the market's going to move, when it's going to dump, and to know how to spot that. And getting in is incredibly important. So that leads us onto where we are today. What is happening? What do we expect? So the first thing is, we've got this clear divergence on a 4 hour, sorry, not divergence, the lack of momentum. Momentum's trending down. You can see that with the VWAP going down. I'm expecting a further move down. We may see a short-term pump. So if I go to the 4 hour, that's where we can see it best. And I'm going to focus mostly on market cipher for the moment. So you can see this what looks like a trigger wave starting to curve round now. And I'm expecting that to form a very nice trigger wave for a move up, right? So it'll be something like that. Be very nice. That might be a bounce off the support line. And not sure if we'll see hitting another all-time high, but it might be a nice short-term bounce. However, do I expect us to go to another all-time high? Probably not just yet, but I do think it's on the cards, sooner rather than later. If I zoom out to the 12-hour chart, this will show a little bit clearer what I'm really expecting, and you can see some of these trend lines that I've been drawing. So now I actually posted this to a few friends yesterday morning, so that was 30 hours ago, of what I expected, and so far, I think we're still on. So let me just try and draw what I'm expecting. Let's see if I can find the brush. So you can see the VWAP there. I'm expecting that is going to curve up and round, maybe not quite that high. Okay, and I'm also expecting, if I get rid of that if I look at the momentum wave, I think we might get a little bit of a trigger wave just here, very small. It'll just dip down. I hope we'll get a nice little green dot just about where that icon, where my cursor is, and I think that will be another trigger wave. Now let's look at this trigger wave, right? So you can see that trigger wave price was in around the 61k, and we went up to 66, right, or 68, if I can move some of these things. Big move. Well, that's 7k. We all know, or for those of you who use Market Cipher know, that the smaller the waves go, and they're in this kind of trend, it becomes more powerful, and it signifies then a bigger move. Now, on a 30-minute, we might expect, I don't know, maybe $1,000 move. On a 12-hour, which is a big trend, that could be much bigger. And if that trigger wave there netted 7k, what's the next one going to do? 10k? 12? And I think that's what we're looking for. November is an extraordinarily bullish month. We've had a long period of consolidation. In September, we had a lull in the summer where it was accumulating, testing support. We know that. We're now in November, December, extraordinarily bullish months, and and in terms of predictions, and I'm not going to throw out a wild prediction for price action, but I do subscribe and follow Plan B, who I think his stock to flow models is extraordinary, and I'd urge you all to follow him on Twitter, and I think he does some interviews somewhere. His prediction is 98k in November, 135k in December. So the trick isn't is then when and how can we predict that? How can we see that kind of move in advance on the charts? And I think we are getting close to it. And I think if we get that trigger wave on the 12-hour there, I think that is going to be the big move. But so what needs to happen first to get to that point? Well, in order to build that trigger wave, we need to go down. Okay, so for those of you who only like the price when it only goes up, going down is necessary. It's a necessary evil in order to generate the right momentum to move up. So that's what I'm expecting. So I'm expecting a bit of a dip. Now there's a few things on the screen here we can talk through. Firstly, you can see the numbers on here. You've seen that I use Market Cipher. This is the DBSI. I don't use it. Well, I do use it, but I don't use it. I don't base all of my moves on it. It's just there for confluence and added confirmation. You can clearly see the number 20 there, and if I was to zoom, you might see that's a -5. So I think this goes up to 25 or 28. I can't remember now. But when the number's on the top, that's bearish, and when the bigger number is on the bottom, it's bullish. So we can clearly see for this candle, for this 12-hour period, it's looking bearish. Okay, and typically, it follows. Next one might only be 17 or something, or next candle. I am expecting that move down. If I just go to a 4-hour chart, now although this looks like it might be forming that trigger wave here, you look at the VWAP though, and let's try and zoom out. You can see this is clearly curving round, and I think it might end up being a little bit like this, where although it's going up, curves round and actually comes back down again, and we get a bigger move down. That's what I think we're going to be doing. Looking at the money flow, it is going down. I'm not really basing my move purely on that. I'm looking really at the curve of the VWAP, and also looking at how price action is working. So, and what I mean by that is, when we start, do I feel that we've got the right momentum to head back up? We've got this line of resistance here at 66k. Do I think we're going to break that? I don't think we do. We might get a bounce off this support line. Might go back up. Will it have the right momentum? Will it have the right power, the strength to punch through there? Probably not. Doesn't look like it at this point. I also want to go to the 1-day chart, and this is really interesting. Nice red dot on the 1-day chart here. Not surprising, we've just made a massive all-time high. Things need to cool off a little bit. Well, I think they are definitely going to cool off. That red dot is significant. That's a macro trend, and that's telling me that we're liable to go down. Now within that, 1 day or 2 days, as it plays out, price is going to range in between. It's going to pump, it's going to drop, but overall, I think on a daily basis, I think we're going to go down. How far down is obviously a $1 billion question. And you can clearly see here so I'm just drawing random lines on the screen. You can clearly see here that I've drawn these green lines of support and resistance. So for me, where are we? We're already here. We've tested twice. What are we going to do again? Do I think we'll just land at 63k? Do I think we'll go further? I actually think we can actually go maybe about 61.5. Why do I think that? We had a CME gap that was open up on Friday that hasn't been closed. Now, not every CME gap gets closed. Now, there are some that have remained open and probably will always remain open. We've pumped way past it, and we'd have to crash, I don't know, 90% or something from here. So that's not going to happen. But, that would be a big move. And sometimes the sharper the drop also signifies that the sharper the reaction as we move back up. And what normally or typically happens is when we're moving up, we need to test the lines of support and resistance along the way. Now, clearly, you can look at these candles here on a daily. There's not a lot of support that's happened. We've got one here, and then we've gone straight up. We've not really tested it back down again, and we certainly haven't tested up here enough. So what I expect is a dump is going to test this line of support, and that's going to then rocket back up again. Where do I think we're going to go? I think we'll go well above 70k. I think that will be easy. And in fact, actually, I think we could be looking at 10k daily candles, which will be, frankly, incredible. Absolutely incredible. I think we're going to be in for very dramatic price action, And the thing to always bear in mind is with that volatility, it works both ways, right? It's going to go up, it will come back down, it will test levels. So the key thing is making sure you're taking profit along the way, and when you can start seeing the reaction to how price action's going, be able to know when to get out, when to close a trade, and when to get into a short. So that's what I'm expecting to happen. I think we're going to dip down. I think it's probably still got a number of hours to play out. I think it's going to dip down, and I think we're going to start maybe, and this might take 2, 3 days, 4 days to play out to get that meteoric pump back up again. So I think it's going to be a good few days before we get to that point. Maybe that will happen on Sunday or Monday. But weekends we know are volatile. So that's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. For crypto and Bitcoin in particular. And I think there's a lot to be gained here. A lot to be gained. Just going to do very quick one on a couple of other coins just to round up. So I'm on Bitstamp here at the moment, so I was looking at something else. I'm just drawing random lines again. Ethereum, you can see, I haven't drawn it, but you can see a beautiful channel here of price action, looking really, really good there. You can see though, I'm not going to draw it right now, but you can see that actually the price action, is starting to head towards the bottom of what that channel might be. And I think ultimately, we're probably going to break out of that channel, and that is also going to be a big dump. Price can only go up for so long, and clearly we've been in this channel since end of September. So that's quite almost 6 weeks. So that's an incredible rise. Looking at here, just to where we are today, is just shy of 70%. If I go to all-time high, almost 75%. So that's pretty incredible. So that is unsustainable though. We can't carry on that forever. At some point, it's going to break out of that. When Bitcoin moves, the market moves. We know that Bitcoin is the king of crypto. Go look at XRP. I actually scalped this yesterday. It was a brilliant scalp. XRP had been, making really great gains. I can't remember my entry, but I think I made something like 1100% gain in around hour and a half of the dump. Massive gain. I'll see if I can post it in the comments or something for people to see. But that was again looking at looking at the price action, looking at what Bitcoin's doing, but also looking at the RSI, looking at whether XRP, which had gone really well, whether that was starting to be overbought and ripe for a come down. So that's what I was looking at. I think there's a few other coins, Cardano. Let me just go back to, it's easier for me to go into Binance. So there we go. Also had started to do really well. You can see the triangle there signifying a reversal. Very powerful on the daily chart. Absolutely played out. Absolutely played out. Unfortunately, I didn't scalp Cardano, but that was a play I was looking at. But I was worried about being overexposed and having too many positions open. And there's only so many you can really do. If I just zoom out here, though, if I look here, what do I think is going to happen? Look at that daily. The VWAP is again pointing down, about to cross over. Probably going to be in for a little bit of a bearish time. But you can imagine, though, that we might form a nice trigger wave here, which on the daily would be incredibly strong, and you could then expect a meteoric rise. And I think you can see a long period of accumulation here, really. And I think since Cardano was at its all-time high of just over $3, I think that is what's going to happen, and we're gonna get that move back up to the top. So again, got a little bit of time to play out, but I think it's going to happen. Right, I'm going to call it time there. So thanks for joining me. Hope that was interesting. Hope you found that useful. Please, this is a brand new channel, so please hit the subscribe button. Please like the video and share it around. Really appreciate the support. Thanks very much.